no problem. I guess Diane, maybe, oh, she's probably gonna be a little late.
There we go.
No? The front door's not up, unlocked.
Uh-oh.
We didn't open that door.
Do we want to turn the lights on too?
That's probably a good idea.
Sorry about that. I was trying to shorten the meeting.
All right.
Okay, so let's continue to talk about it.
Yeah, okay, so you want me to kind of lay out the
Yes.
short-term rental thing? Okay,
Yes.
so, so like Linda's been talking about for a while, it'd be super awesome to have a hotel in town. I'm not aware of anybody right now who has the capital and the knowledge to want to build a, medium or larger hotel in the city. So, next best thing would be to have a bunch of people who would like to rent out Airbnbs, Verbos, whatever, short-term rentals, and have that in the city code so that it's super straightforward for anybody. So I took that and I took it to Will, who is kind of the chair over at the Planning Commission. And I said, hey, can we talk about short-term rentals and what that would look like? Can we get our city planner, Melissa, to talk to us about short-term rentals? So at the meeting, what was that? Was it the 10th or something of this month, or 8th? Anyway, at the Planning Commission meeting, we kind of discussed it. The Planning Commission was less than interested in allowing short-term rentals in full single-family homes, but they were interested in allowing short-term rentals for ADUs. So if somebody wanted to build an ADU on their property and then rent it out as an Airbnb, they thought that was a pretty slick idea. So that's kind of where it ended up with the policy discussion.
So Melissa is asking that we approve their go-ahead to work on this, but if we do that, we're committing ourselves to $10,000, so I think
It appears
it's
that way,
something that we need to not
we
go
don't,
forward with.
we obviously don't have the money for that.
I don't think we should.
I think it was good to have the policy discussion to see like, okay, where are we at as a city? And I think it's still a beneficial discussion for us to have as a city council.
I think so too.
To be like,
I
hey.
think so too, but right now is not the time to be committing ourselves to $10,000.
Not to $10,000, no?
Yeah, it's just not, so, okay,
Yeah.
that's good. So do you want to talk about that other, the screen thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I put, Linda's gonna add this to the agenda, but we have an application that needs to be turned in.
I think you need to get to a microphone. Why don't you sit here?
Well, you can sit next to me, Nancy.
There's, well, I have to write everything. An application for a grant/loan from the Public Works Board for $695,000 to replace the influence screens at the wastewater treatment plant. We have obviously discussed this many times, how old they are and how much repair they need. And they're not, the current ones are past their useful life and they don't make them anymore. We can't get parts. We have to have parts machined for them, so on and so forth. And so we're just looking for approval to submit this grant. And I believe that this is one of several options. I believe this is option B. We're still looking for a full-on grant for this, but this particular one had to be submitted by the 31st, which is Friday.
Right.
So that's why I brought it to you for approval, and we'll submit for it if it turns out we get a grant that either supplements or replaces this, of course, we'll let them know that we don't need their funding.
And to be clear, this is a grant for a loan, not grant for a gift, correct?
Yes.
So if we
That-
get this going through it and we need to use it, then we're on the hook
Well,
for another.
I think that they've been looking into the Department of Ecology for grants too.
Yeah, yes, although we got
So
turned down for
they-
one of
for
those, the
one of
first
them,
one.
Yeah,
So we're still looking at options, but we have to apply, by certain dates for certain agencies. So we do need to apply for this.
But it's not, we're not committing funds for the city to accept the loan, accept the.
Not at this time, no.
It's a fallback position to, if we're
Right.
not able to get.
Yeah, this is just to apply for this. So this is just approval to apply for this grant.
okay. And the other
So-
thing was the budget amendment that we need to
Oh.
talk about.
Okay. Did anybody have any questions on the budget amendment that I submitted? That we looked at last meeting? Today is the second reading, and I didn't bring it upstairs with me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do you have a copy in there?
I
Yeah,
don't.
if anyone
Here
has
it
any
is.
questions regarding anything.
You guys want to look at this?
Take a look at it again, sure.
Fine.
Oh, I'm lying. I do have it in my
Do you have that?
agenda packet.
Oh, I have that.
Oh,
Did you
You
need
guys
the
need this?
ordinance? Did you need to look at the ordinance?
I'll take a look at it one more
It should be in your
time.
packet, isn't it? I'm sorry,
No.
Jessica did part of the packet, and I just published it, so I'm a little unsure as to what information you guys have and what you don't. And there will be an opportunity for another budget amendment. We usually do one at year end to, cover anything that we missed or any grants that come in after, of course, this time during the year. So say we were to get this one I just spoke about, we still have to do another budget amendment at the end of the year before we do the 27 budget. Or at the same time.
Do you want to take a look at that, Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will have to read it during
Okay.
the regular meeting. I do have a copy of it, I like.
Okay.
One question I have,
Yes,
Nancy, and I think I mentioned this before, is, we have this Reserve Academy operating fund with $0 in it that keeps showing up. What would it take to get that off our financials? We no longer have a Reserve Academy.
right, I think there's like a $39 credit balance on that I have to figure out what to do with before I can close that fund, so.
Perhaps we should donate it to the Police Officers, Widows, and Orphans Fund.
Well,
Is there such a thing?
It's a credit balance though, right?
let me see.
I think so, yeah.
I could be mixing it up with another fund.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
$39 sticks in my mind
Yeah, I
as
have
something
to
that,
figure out what we're allowed to do with that. But I can bring that to another meeting after I figure out what's allowable with that.
Sure, and there's no rush on it. I've just been looking at this for
Right.
2.5 years, and
Yeah,
It hasn't
there's,
moved.
I think, another fund too. Well, I have to figure out what to do with the trust account that was for municipal court. There's a certain amount left in that fund. I believe it's unclaimed property. Unfortunately, that was not tracked like our regular unclaimed property. So that's gonna take some work with Thurston County District Court also to figure out what those amounts were and be able to, I think we'll be able to close that fund, but not this year,
All right.
not this year, or account, excuse me, not.
Thank you.
And even, should you approve the budget amendment, if there's questions afterwards, I'll be happy to explain things in more detail to people also.
Okay, is that it?
Is that
All we
really
have to
all?
work on? Well, we might as well do reports then, and get it out of
Yeah.
the way. I'll read George's in a hurry, Chris, then you can do yours and get out of here. This is for the Chamber. Oregon Trail Days saw record crowds on Saturday and Sunday, and the Chamber appreciates all the support from the city in hosting Oregon Trail Days. And a special thank you to Maria Rodriguez for being our liaison and going above and beyond to ensure Oregon Trail Days happened in a safe way. And a big shout out to Tyann Curtis for putting on, according to many public comments, a fantastic parade. They're gonna have a wrap-up meeting on the 3rd, next Monday at 5:30 at the Sandstone at the Quarry Bar. Steady, South Thurston Economic Development Initiative will be on Friday, August 21st at 8 a.m., location to be announced. The EDC is coordinating a free 4-week online scale-up training about tourism marketing starting August 10th. It will take place from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. EDC is hosting a real estate forum on September 24th, 11 a.m. to 1:30 at SPSCC College in Lacey. That's his report. Chris, you want to give your report?
All right, nothing too exciting for you guys, just a few things. Go over our total calls for June. We had 18 total calls in town with average response time of 5 minutes, 8 seconds. District-wide, we had 189 calls. 4th of July, we had 28 calls from the start of the 3rd in the evening to Sunday about 5 o'clock.
How many calls?
28. So it was a little busy, but nothing too crazy. Not to say Sunday was actually worse than 4th of July for us. We had a couple of big brush fires and stuff like that. So, of course, like anytime we overstaff, nothing happens, and then when we're right at staffing, it's usually the busiest and most chaotic.
Of course.
Who knows? I wish I had a crystal ball for that and make my life a lot easier. Right? Let's see. We had no major fires in the city as well. A couple of AOS calls. We did have a person get burned on that end of town with a firework. I heard we don't flying that, but we did have a firework related injury on the 5th. It wasn't on the 4th. And in fact, the 4th was pretty mellow in town. I was kind of shocked.
It was not mellow in town.
It was mellow. I was sitting out front of the station, and it was compared to what it was like 5 years ago.
It sounded like bombs going off in my backyard.
All
It was
right.
awful.
Maybe just not on this side of town, I guess. No. Who knows? Nothing to report on the station right yet, but legal said we're getting really close, so that part's good. Now it just comes a battle with funding. As you guys know, as I hear you talk about, it's funding, right? And every year that station doesn't get built, it goes up another 15–20%. So hopefully we'll have a shoebox at some point to be able to build and call it a day. Yeah, that's pretty much it, unless you guys have anything specific.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
The fire marshal, I understand we have a fire marshal?
Yeah, you guys have a contracted fire marshal, and it's Southeast Thurston's, fire marshal, Matt Russell.
And the city is paying for it?
Yes, ma'am? Yeah, it's not I know it's gonna be a weird thing to say, but it's not a fire department responsibility, the annexation that happened, that work still falls into the city.
Okay.
However, the one thing, actually, I did have a couple more things that did pop in my head. So when we looked at the WSRB, there's a few holes that we need to capture and fix and help the city. I got, probably the first week of August, I got a couple people that are gonna go start inspecting and flushing all the fire hydrants. That was a big thing, we got hit pretty hard on that. Also working with the water department with a reporting software, so when issues with the hydrants or when they gotta put their flow rates in, it goes into a computer system, so I'm working through Mayor Larson to make sure that they have access to that and that there's communication as well with that. So that should be happening the first week in August, give or take. And I'm gonna work with the gals downstairs and let them know so we can start putting it on Facebook and some of those avenues to make sure people know that, when you start going through the whole city with the hydrants, the water kind of, I guess, gets grayish colors, what people were saying. So just want to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a matter of disrupting the sediment that's sitting down at the end of some of these hydrants that are not been flowing in quite some time. So we'll identify, let people know when that happens. And then the other thing I'm working with Mayor Watterson on is that we need to do annual inspections of all the structures, all the businesses in town. That was another thing that we got hit on pretty hard. And so looking at the cost, I'm looking at, we're going to maybe potentially share that responsibility in the sense of asking the city to help pay for 3 people to go get trained to be ICC trained fire inspector of 1, so they could go do those inspections with the certification, and so that would save us.
What's it gonna cost for the training?
I want to say it was in total like 10,000 for a training.
Everybody wants $10,000.
That's the magic number tonight.
I want 10,000.
Yeah, the problem is they take them, they basically sequester them in a hotel for a week to go through all of this training. So that's why there's an added cost of, you have to stay there, you have to, it's just, I don't know, I'm working on figuring this out to help mitigate some of the reliance that we have on Matt Russell, who is the fire marshal, because he's got a pretty busy job on dealing with Rainier and Yelm. And so, not that I want to take that work from the city by any means, but if I can figure out a way to help out a little bit, it kind of helps both of us out, right? With the WSRB rating down, plus we get inspections of businesses, which truly do need to be done, for sure. There's definitely a lack of that, so.
So these fire inspectors are equivalent to fire marshals? Is it the same job?
That's a whole
It's,
different beast, yeah, that's a plan review, that's further down the line.
Yeah.
I will never walk into that, because the town of Uco tried to do that too with us, make us fire marshals, and that's, you're talking at least about a $200,000 investment per year to have that position in the fire department.
Yeah,
Because you have to have some completely trained.
we used to have a fire inspector,
Yeah.
Dan Mahoney. Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't.
but he was paid for by the fire department, not us. It was just a fire inspector through the fire department.
And he wasn't trained. He had.
But he
knowledge of-
could go in and he could
Sure,
he could certify the businesses.
I would be, where I'm looking at it is that we have to be very careful if the person that's occupying and saying, this building would take this amount of people in it, and something happens and they didn't calculate properly, that lands on the person who signed that piece of paper. So that's why, for the liability reasons, we want to make sure that people are properly trained to make those kind of decisions. Because I don't want to own that, for sure. I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Any other questions? Thank you.
thank you.
I understand, excuse me, we will be replacing some of the hydrants by the middle school in preparation for the new school year.
I was told that, yeah, I think we're, I remember the plan, but I don't know, I haven't been specifically told when and how and all that kind of stuff, but I was told that was.
That was a notice with our Public Works meeting this morning. Yeah.
Good, yeah, the north side of town, it's the high value targets that require most amount of water, for sure, that'd be great. I'll keep you guys abreast. I'm sure you guys will know probably before I do.
Thank you, Chief.
Hi.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
You too. There's nobody here from the sheriff's office. Do you have any kind of a report?
I don't, I didn't get a report this week, so.
Okay. Silver Service, we don't have that. Finance Committee, Planning Commission, Public Safety Committee, anything?
Nope.
No. Public Works Committee.
For Public Works, they're starting work on drain fields, they're starting work on the drainage for Fields 3, which is the city's cost, but Field 2 is a grant, so they're doing both of them basically at the same time, because they do have the materials already that is needed
Okay.
for that. So that is starting. Concession stand at the ball fields is going to be painted, but they have very minimal cost. Next year, that concession stand will have to have a roof, he said, and he'll put it in his annual budget. They're starting hydrant work, and but they must do the painting of crosswalks and school signs that they'll be starting and doing this month. And some of the signs need replacement because they're so faded out, they're not
Can't-
able to see them
Can't
anymore.
read 'em.
Friday, TID grant, a sidewalk for they're putting in a TID grant for the sidewalks for this year. Car show is August 15th, and the swap meet is also in August. And that's it.
Okay. Code enforcement, building and, nothing? How about clerk treasurer? I think you already gave a report, unless you got another one.
Yeah, I don't really have anything new
Okay.
last month.
Nothing from the mayor since he's on vacation. I know we don't have a thing from VDAP, but how about solid waste advisory board?
No, our next meeting is next week.
Okay, how about the Tenino School Board? Nothing?
Anything?
No?
No.
No TRPC or TIB because, again, the mayor is on vacation. Commissioner's Office, Oregon Trail Days, I gave the report on that. Okay. We've got 36 minutes before the meeting starts, so,
Well, here we are.
yeah, here we are. Did you want to say something, John? Yeah, I can always help. No, go ahead. We've got time. Okay. I'll pass them down, I'll do that. If I can get my hand around them.
Greetings and salutations, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, and you too, how you doing back there? I'm here to start talking about our VFW 5878. Last year, we had a Gold Star family dinner. Just a few people showed up to it. I think it was just 2. Since I've been more active with the VFW, they've asked me to go ahead and see what I can do with this. And there's 3 of us, Frank Hicks, Trudy, I can't say her last name.
Burnham.
Thank you. And myself, we're working on bringing that together. One of the things that I suggested is, since we are not just really Tenino VFW, we cover some of Rainier, because it's a kind of a split thing between Yelm and Rainier. And we also take care of Rochester, because along that way, we're expanding our invitation out to everybody in those areas. If you know anybody that is a Gold Star family, please give them a personal invitation. That's my email at the bottom of this one, and we need to have a number of how many people are coming. This way we can adjust for that. Also, last year we were able to, I don't know if we actually had the dinner over there or over at the VFW, but we were able to at least reserve the Quarry House, and it didn't cost us anything. And I went down to reserve it this time, and they're asking, said that it was $150, so we'll formally be asking to have that waived. And that's again, it's dependent on how many people. We'll know by September 1st or 2nd if we actually are going to need it or not. Those are the things that we're doing now. You've been to, most of you went over to the memorial. And I personally want to extend thank yous from the VFW for doing that.
Yeah,
To me, it's a personal thing. As most of you know, I was Navy, and I always greet everybody. Thank you very much for your service, especially if you're not Navy. You know, I can't help you with that. But these are things that are important to me. Second, I've been approved to be a member of the Veterans Advisory Board for Thurston County. Yesterday was the first meeting. I got to vote for somebody to be two people to be part of it because we had 2 more open seats. But the important part is there's a Veterans Resource and Job Fair on November 5th. It's a free event. It goes from 10 to 3 o'clock. If we can put this on our Facebook page, the city's Facebook page, that could help a lot. I'm going to be sending these flyers out all over the place as well. And that. They did it last year, and it will seem to be a very big success. The problem is, at least for me, is that we never hear anything when North County does anything for veterans. Now we will.
Good job.
Okay, so I'd like to get this posted out as much as possible, and as many people as possible to see.
Get one to George too, so he can put it on that.
Well, if I can have one for Jessica, and get it
Thank you.
posted on our website.
Thank you.
We've got a couple other things that are coming up with the Veterans Advisory Board, and as we get closer to those dates, I'll bring that information to you as well. One other thing that the Veterans Advisory Board has been doing for some time, this is the second year. We have a $1 million grant for any organization that does work to help veterans. Our food bank does a lot of work to help veterans. So I talked to Jody about it, and she's going to be filling out some for that grant. It's a $500 each year. If you get it this year, it'll carry over for the second year. Now, the maximum each year is $500,000. Last year was the first year. Nobody got close to getting that whole $500,000. We're trying to spread it out as well as we can. So I'm hoping for good things this year with that. And especially since it's the second year, we didn't hear anything about it last year. And the bicycles board that I'm on, Senate Bill 6110, I start with that on November 12th. That's when we meet. They're long meetings. They're about 4 or 5 hours each. So once I find out, after the first meeting, I'll come back and bring some information. You guys are going to be looking at some ordinance for bicycles. I would suggest that you hold off until the beginning, until next year. This way we're not trying to duplicate everything. But in the meantime, you can put the word out that the state has these rules and we are going to be following them. So like the other day, I was at the park and about 10:30, 11 o'clock, we had these kids on scooters. I couldn't get a really good look at those scooters. I don't think they were the high-end ones, but they can move along at quite a nice clip.
Well, I was sitting at Pioneer Village or Cascadia Country greeting people,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the electric bikes just almost hit me.
Yeah, see, and that's one of the things I want to, yeah, that's one of the things that I want to bring up at these meetings, is that it's not the bikes, it's the people. We don't, to demonize the bikes, I don't think is the right thing, and I've heard so many people saying nothing but negative, even on the press. Somebody got hit by a car, and it was the guy, it wasn't the car's fault, but then the press, they tried to make it sound like it was the bike's fault or the scooter's fault. It's not. That thing just sits there until you turn it on.
Well,
It's now.
It's the same with anything, it's the
That's
guns or
right.
anything, it's the same.
So making rules against having those bikes, I think, is wrong. But making the rules to make the person that's behind it, that's where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I'm going to be pushing, is making sure that,
Like licensing and things like that.
yes, okay? Some of them are, and that's going to be a hard part, the licensing part, because as far as I've been able to find, there's only 2, maybe 3 different bikes that will actually have a VIN number. None of the other ones do, which makes it really difficult to insure them and to register them and all that kind of good stuff. Because when I was younger, in Virginia Beach, they had us register the bike. No numbers on it. You can't tell. And the thing was, well, if somebody steals it, we've got the sticker that you put on there to help us find it. It never
When I
stopped
was
them
a
find
kid-
anything.
When I was a kid, our bicycles had to be licensed.
Yeah,
Yeah, in
And-
the 40s and the 50s. You
Yeah.
had to, I had a little license on the back end of my bicycle, so I don't understand why it's so hard to have
Well-
them licensed and have the people that are riding them or driving them, have them be licensed also.
it's not that it's difficult. If it's not done right, it's just a waste of time and a waste of money. Because when I got my bike registered, it cost $5, but it was $15 with that after everything was done, when paying for it to be registered. So after a while, Virginia Beach said, "Now we're not doing this anymore. It's too costly." But as far as actually having real license plates, like my third e-bike, it'll do 40 to 45 miles an hour. Yeah, that should have a license plate on the back. I've got all the other safety stuff on it. It's got the turn signals, stop signs, the whole 9 yards. It even has a caution on it. Pretty cool. But it doesn't have a VIN number. And I've talked to our insurance, Farmers Insurance, Colleen, and they finally figured out how they might be able to go ahead and insure those bikes as well. Because right now, the bikes can be insured underneath your homeowner's insurance, but that only means if somebody steals your bike off your property, then it's covered. Once it's off the property, something happens, that's not really insurance on it. But they're working on putting it under a same type of motorcycle insurance, which to me makes a lot of sense, because if you ever found out what the very first motorcycle was, you'd go, "Oh, that makes sense." Do you know what the first motorcycle was? Somebody had the great idea, George Carlin used to make a joke about this, some schmuck nailed 2 things together that have never been nailed together before. Some other schmuck is going to buy it. Well, somebody did that. They took a bicycle, they put a motor on it, boom, there was your first motorcycle. So it makes sense to actually get those things insured. Okay, that's about all I have, unless you have any questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Carrie, did you want to, have you got something you wanted to say? We've got time.
I drove past and I was like, why not stop in?
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Okay, that's great. Well, welcome.
Do I have to come up if I talk or
Yeah.
can I just?
Oh, come on. It's just, we need it recorded. Anything that is said. Why?
No, we went, we had a meeting with the county on the last Friday. So I think that's the 24th. And so we talked to them about the sewer line from, Bucota to you guys. And so the administrator or planner is going to be putting together, kind of like with you guys, just a letter of intent and to ask the Board of Commissioners to sign, you know, that they're willing to entertain us getting,
Good.
I think it's easement,
Yeah,
you know, because we'll be going through primarily the county.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, so we should know, and I think they said it'll be on their agenda 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll know what they have to say, and we got the funding for our feasibility study. So we're just waiting for the go-ahead from the county. We'll submit an RFQ, and then here we go.
Good.
So we're pretty
All right.
excited about that.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you, Carol.
Cassie, Mayor, you go to, right?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it's Cali,
Callie.
like
Cali.
California. It's okay. It's
I call her Carrie all the
okay.
time.
Yeah, it's okay.
Madam Mayor, we'll call you that.
Mhm.
There you go.
I told this kid when he almost hit me, he said, "Sorry, ma'am." I said, "You would have been sorry if had you hit me." I mean, he was tons of people in there, and he's zipping in around him, and little kids running around. It really pissed me off.
Well, I saw an adult on a bicycle doing that too, so
Well, that's not good either. But
I was like, what are you doing?
but those the e-bikes are a lot heavier than a regular bicycle.
Oh, yeah, they are.
There's a lot more substantial.
Yep.
He'd knocked me right off the chair had he hit me. Yeah.
I see it on Facebook too.
I can't
At the fitness place. Kids on the electric scooters and bikes and stuff, and then
In
there's
the parking
sports.
lot.
And
Yeah,
there's
they stole something, yeah,
Yeah.
I know it. I gotta show you something. So my great-granddaughter, they had their, thank you. Bye,
See you, John.
John. Had their last tournament on Saturday and Sunday, and Saturday they beat this team 10-0, and then they beat them 10-0 on Sunday. And then the last team they played, they beat them 17, I think, so they won the tournament. Yeah. Yeah, they're such
Where
good
was the
kids.
tournament held?
Shahir's.
Shahir's.
They've got a nice field.
Yeah.
Boy, it's really nice.
Yeah.
And Valerie, my daughter Valerie,
Well, they do have some nice fields in Centralia too.
yeah, those are nice too.
Yeah.
Those are harder for me to get to, though I can park a little closer than having to walk 10 miles to get into the game.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's so, it's a lot closer, but they're all nice fields.
Yeah,
And we've got nice fields here too, though. It's not like we don't.
yeah.
So this little gal you saw the picture of, she's been 4'8" forever. She's the one I told you when she's played varsity basketball for North Thurston. This would have been her second year, and she's 16. So they were having the banquet, or having some kind of an introduction to the season. And the new coach said, "How many of you girls want to play basketball?" And everybody, a lot of them raised their hand, and this one gal said, "Well, I'd love to, but my mom said that I couldn't make it, I'm too short." The coach says, "Abica McBride, would you get up here, please?" My great-granddaughter walked up there, she's 4'8". He says,
Oh, my.
"How tall are you?" "I'm 4'8". And the coach said, "She's been playing varsity, this is her second year." So, yeah. Anyway, she walked up to me and said, "Grandma, I'm almost as tall as you are now." And she's getting there. I think she's pushing 5 foot.
So she won't be too tall, but
No, she's gonna be, if she hits 5'2", I would be amazed.
Yeah.
She's a little teeny thing. And bright red hair, same color as mine used to be. Same color exactly. In fact, I've got lots of them right here when I was 6, and they're just exactly the same color as hers. Yeah. And just covered with freckles, freckles everywhere.
Yeah. That's the way it was.
Yeah,
Me too.
me too. Me too. And I didn't care anything about covering them up either. I didn't care.
No.
When I was a little girl, they teased me about my red hair. So I went home crying one day. My mother said, "Hey, I'm going to tell you something, young lady. Lots of blondes out there, lots of redheads and lots of brownheads. Not too damn many redheads. So just be proud of what you got." So did it for me.
I don't at school
Really?
with red
Oh, yeah, they teased me all the time.
but there were three of us
That have red hair.
in my family.
Oh, well, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I had an older sister and a younger sister that both had red hair, and then my older sister and my youngest sister, they had really dark
Red.
brown,
Oh, good. Yeah, isn't that funny?
almost black.
Yeah. My old brother and my older sister had the dark hair, and my younger sister and I have the red hair.
Oh,
All from the same parents.
yeah, exactly. And my sister still has the brown hair. And I says, yeah, because you got all the genes from the Native American. My mother wasn't Native American.
Oh. Cherokee.
I never can remember what the second one was. My grandfather was Cherokee.
Oh, really?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah, I was gonna say that's where they,
And she was from Missouri.
it's neat to know those things, you know. My dad,
Yeah, when you really start looking and trying to
Yeah,
find,
yeah.
you know, that information, a lot of it was a program that truly had. And that program that she had, you could access the first one was the 1900 census,
oh,
and the census listed
where they're from and everything, yeah, that's how,
It used to have a lot more information than it does now.
when I was going back into the Inmans from here, and I found out that my great-grandfather was a Confederate soldier, and if he hadn't come back, when he did 4 years after the war was over, because he'd been in prison camp, my grandpa wouldn't have been an inmate. I mean, you know, he wouldn't have, because he was born afterwards. But he had to go back to Pocahontas, Arkansas, in order to enlist in the Confederacy, because that's where he was born. But he lived in Texas, so, and when he was born, his name was spelled I-N-M-O-N. And when he enlisted, it was I-N-M-O-N, or A-N, I'm sorry, A-N. But when he mustered out, they changed it to I-N-M-O-N, so that's what he went with. Yeah, just weird, the way things happen.
It is the way
It really is.
um,
Yeah.
my husband's his uncle and his dad, their last name was spelled different. I said, why are your names different? He said, yeah, because our parents immigrated from Germany. They didn't want to make any waves, so when the birth certificate came and it was spelled wrong,
They just left it. Oh, my God. Oh, dear. Well,
I mean, it was only off by a letter.
but still, it was spelled different. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, my dad's family landed in Quebec, Montreal, in 1630. We have a home, the Patnick House there. And my sister saw it this last year. She and her husband took a road trip, and they went and they found it. She went inside. People brought her in. People are still living in it.
Oh.
It's like a 2-bedroom stone house, made out of big stones.
Yeah.
And they let her go in and tour it, and they had coffee or something with them, you know. Yeah, it's really
That was
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah. And then they moved out here. My great-grandfather had where the armory is in Olympia, that was his brick kiln. That's where he made and fired his bricks, that he paved almost all of downtown Olympia. Yeah, they were all brick streets. There's still,
Yes,
still
there are
alleys
still- yeah,
down there.
there are
Brick.
some,
Those
yeah.
were his, yeah. It's fun to go back in your family to see. I laughed at my daughter, the one that has the baseball players, grandkids. She sent me a picture of an old beat-up picture album, and I recognized it immediately.
Oh,
It was
really?
my mom's from when she went to Central, when it was Ellensburg Normal.
Oh.
And she showed me some of the pictures, and I says, well, those were all friends of your grandma and Grandma Patnard's when she was in college, you know, so, yeah. I don't know how Valerie ended up with it. Won't have any idea, but that's all right. It's in the family.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder
Yeah.
where it came from.
Oh, come on, clock. When are we gonna, I wonder when we're gonna decide to do this earlier than the times that we do it.
Well, you guys looking at me.
I don't know.
I don't know that we can. I thought
Sure,
we
we can
talked
change
about
it.
it.
We can change it. We changed it. It used to be what it says
So it's 6:30.
in the email. You look and see what it says in the email. It says 6 o'clock for the work session and 7 o'clock for the meeting.
The email.
In
I
the
sent.
email that we get, yes.
Ah.
Yep,
So it's 6:30 and 7:30.
Yeah.
Currently, you
Yes.
want to change it to 6?
6 and 7. I mean, I think everybody can be here by
I don't
6
know.
o'clock. Can everybody be here by 6 o'clock, Jeff? Yeah, I can.
It's gonna be harder
Why?
during January through April
Why?
because of session.
Oh, I get off at 4.
I
Well,
don't.
do we have to have
You
an
don't?
hour for the work session?
You don't get off at
No.
4.
Linda,
What?
do we have to have an hour for the work section? Can we do 6:30 and 7?
That would be good. I think that,
Instead of
because it's
6:30 and
over.
7:30.
You know, we sit here for a half an hour
On the good days, we sit here for half an hour.
on the good days. Some days it's longer than
Some days
that.
it's longer.
If the work session goes long, can we discuss during the regular meeting instead of work session? Like if for some reason we go more than half an hour during the work session, the regular meeting starts at 7, and we continue discussion in the regular meeting.
Sure, of course.
Okay, I mean, I've only been doing this for a year.
Sure, I'm sure, there's no
asking.
reason that we can't. What would be the reason that we can't, you know?
Well, if it's on the work session, no, it would have to be on the agenda for the meeting.
I did that Saturday.
So it would
It
have
hurt
to be
so
on the
bad.
agenda,
I
or we
must
would
have
have to
had
amend the agenda.
15,000 steps on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was running all over the place on Saturday.
I needed
Discussing
to.
something that
My
was-
back got so sore sitting up there on that chair. I kept standing
You,
and
you could have taken my job, I'll give it to you.
about submitting
Okay.
for the reduced.
so,
We're gonna have a 14-hour day by the time.
Yes, so I
So,
called
so
PSC.
about
I called
2
PSC.
o'clock, Diane comes
And they
wandering
said,
over and says, are you ready to go?
Whenever your wife
I
quits
said,
work,
yes, I am. So she took me home and got in my car.
then apply. Don't apply before then.
Oh,
And they said even if you're,
Yeah, so
whenever you apply, we're just gonna look and get you in within about 8 weeks.
oh,
It'd take about 8 weeks to
So
get you in.
17 hours this weekend.
She's like, otherwise you will renew every year.
After.
yeah, that's
After work.
what they told me, and I got a letter
Well, it's, I know,
yesterday.
but you know, that's why you do this stuff when you're young.
Gave me a grant
I
for
can't
some-
tell you the hours I put in when I worked as a bartender raising my kids.
No instructions.
Sometimes it was 18 hours a day. I'd go home, take a shower, get.
Wait,
change my
a
clothes, go
grant
back
to
home.
upgrade your electrical or to pay for the bill?
But I was young.
Yeah.
That helped in my electricity.
Yeah. So you
There's not a
know,
choice.
you
So
know,
it came
you just,
from Lewis, Thurston, Mason County Community Action Center.
I can't
That's where
tell
the
you guys
list
how
comes
pleased
from.
I am with the hanging
Interesting.
baskets.
That's who does it for Thurston.
Those
Mason.
kids, those
And it
FFA
said
kids
that
did
they
a hell
awarded
of a
me
good job.
$705.
I just hope they're gonna be willing enough
That's
to
it.
do it again
Okay.
next year because it's.
Doesn't tell me how it works. Do I pay the bill? Do they pay? Do
Well, and how long is Maxfield's
I
at the
don't
high
know.
school? How many more years is she gonna be there?
Two, I think.
It's more questions now.
That's really the kicker in that. Exactly. You know, she
Questions.
has a passion.
Because
for
I
that.
submitted my paperwork to PSC,
I think she told me at the sale, 2 years.
and she told me I had to submit it every October.
Before she's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just gave me.
I said, you cannot, we won't let you retire.
I know.
Did it come
We
with
love
like a
Miss
card or
Maxfield. She's
anything?
great.
Well, she's,
They come
she
as
just
a card.
super.
Yeah, like a
super
prepaid
with the
card or
kids.
something.
Yeah.
You could-
No.
Absolutely.
No,
Okay,
I'm
Wonder-
gonna have to call and say,
Yeah.
how does it work?
how does this work?
Yeah. Do I pay? Do you pay everything until that money runs
I-
out?
A proposal to change the.
You know, they may pay it until that
We
money
just
runs
talked,
out.
we just talked about it.
Yeah.
You're thinking still 6
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it other than it's a thing that exists for people who need it.
That lady,
Yes,
what is her name?
yes,
Rhoda?
I agree. I think that's a
And she had
phenomenal
sent
idea.
me
Well, yeah.
Especially with winter time coming too. We need to get out of here earlier.
Yeah,
electricity is obviously first thing. Low income people. I'm like, there should be something that can be done, you know, and then she called.
No, I think 6:30 for work session, 7 for meetings would be
Well, the rest,
phenomenal.
she was
Well, look
supposed to
at the
send me
email
names
that
of
said that.
contractors
because it's got on there,
to do weather
work
resolution.
session six,
Instead, she sends
meeting
me a
seven.
link
is what
Was
it
it
says.
really?
Yeah,
I didn't even
community
realize
action.
that, I was just doing
that's what
my.
it says.
Weatherization.
That's what it says every
To the
time.
website that they said, it's closed. They're not doing that. They're out of money for that.
So what do we need to
So-
be able to change that?
So I think
PSC told me that they have a whole.
Oh, no, because it used to be,
In the
it was
area that
6
they
and
work
7
with
before.
that does weatherization and they pay for
Because I
it.
think that was.
So I was like, I'm a little confused, who pays for it?
We just have to
Community action
publish it.
Or,
I don't know if we have to publish it several
I thought
times.
Community Action was an
or just-
independent nonprofit run.
that's what I understood too.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really confusing. I didn't know that they had
Oh, of
anything.
course not, you know, especially now, when you guys are doing double
I
duty.
didn't either. Never,
I told you now, if you need help, I can do it. I'm
until,
not-
and the
I'd
only
be happy
reason
to
that I
answer the
found
phone.
out about
That's all I
it
do
was
is answer the
because
phone and take
I had
messages.
called.
Well, if you would like to come by
There was a
on
discrepancy.
Thursday or Tuesday or Wednesday.
Budget payment thing,
Yeah.
and that's when I called
That would be
PSC
great.
trying to,
It's gonna be,
you know,
she's
understand
half
that
day on
whole
Thursday,
thing.
About
2 hours on
Community
Thursday.
Action.
So,
I have an appointment at 2 o'clock, but I can come in and say start in the
Let's just say
morning.
Community
That'd be
Action.
great.
Thurston
That would be
County.
great.
I'll be there Thursday.
Community Action of Lewis
Thursday, and
Mason
then we're closed on
Thurston
Friday
County.
because
See
Nancy
what
and I
they
are
do.
both out of town on Friday. But then Tuesday,
Tuesday of next week.
Tuesday and Wednesday of
Yeah,
next week.
because I'm, no, what am I doing? Let's see.
What I was trying
Yeah, I
to
can't,
do
because I'm
was
going to my sister's on the
an estimate
14th, but I will
from
be
a
back on,
contractor.
Yeah.
And then ask how
so I would
much
be able to help then also.
help can I get from PSC?
That's like the toughest part, just because Nancy and I are on vacations planning for this coming weekend.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine, you
There's
should
no
not
insulation.
ever change your
No, she
vacation.
asked me like 4 times today if she should cancel her trip, and I went, no.
Energy
No,
assistance is one of their
absolutely, we're not
programs, and so is
canceling your trip.
weatherization.
Don't do it, it's just,
Interesting.
you know, I'll tell you
I
something.
mean, that's a big
I'll tell you
section of
one
the
thing
state.
right
I
now,
mean,
this
when you
city's
look
not
at
gonna
that,
fall apart if you take
It's
it.
not.
counties served,
Yeah,
Something goes
I mean, that's a
through, it just,
significant
it'll
portion of
get
the
fixed
state.
next week.
And
yeah,
there's
that's
just,
Lewis County, Thurston
Yeah.
County, and Mason
and
County.
if you
Yeah.
shorten the schedule until you get a new clerk, treasurer, a new utility clerk, then,
On this
I'll
day.
tell you something interesting too. Shorten it to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
ooh, nice.
Okay. Courtney happened to stop by my table when we were talking.
I will say,
Because I know that, I know where it's coming from.
I spent the last 3
Who's
weeks I
doing
was
it?
there,
yeah,
documenting everything that I did, and I had it all written
I
out.
had some
in
prime
front of
ribs
me.
recently that
You do have it.
Yeah.
She
In
said
the
somebody
last
said
couple
they
years.
threw them
I,
away.
it comes
Oh,
up
no.
once or twice
I
a year.
have, and they've been helpful, and Jessica.
I've been super impressed.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
I just wanted to make sure.
but we don't have enough.
It just kind of
My
tastes
son-in-law and I did it for
Oh,
Christmas, and
neat.
it turned out so
We're working on that.
good.
while we-
Mine, the one that I had was
As
like,
we're
I
learning, we're
had to
documenting.
chew every bit,
Well,
like
Nancy's
to
not
death.
documenting.
Really?
So you've
Yeah,
got,
it
you've
was
got
super
some good
sinewy,
candidates.
and
for
it just
sure.
didn't cook down well.
Yes,
And
we just have to wait for.
I was
Dave
just
to
like,
come back.
I'll eat it,
There he goes, he's on
Oh,
vacation.
somebody else. Oh,
but it's somebody else who knows what they're doing.
He can't eat, sleep, and drink
Oh,
this
yeah.
job, this.
How did this turn out like that?
It'll suck you in.
And my son-in-law seasoned it and all that stuff, so.
Yeah.
So I only
And
have
then he went and took a nap.
little bit
It
of
does
And I
take
was
that long.
supposed to take it out on
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I
I
did.
thought that story was going somewhere else.
No, I did. I got it out on time. And my daughter says, I thought Kurt was doing that. And I said, it's a team thing. He went to take a nap. She says, come on, I know he needs a nap.
Corey's home making
I says,
meatloaf.
well, he had to get up early
So I
for the
won't,
kids'
won't go to bed
Christmas.
real
And
early
she
tonight,
says,
because I want to go home and
no
eat some.
earlier than me.
Yeah? Yep.
Oh,
My gosh.
heard about that lettuce
But my
parasite
daughter
thing?
loves Christmas. She just
I
has
had
decorated the inside.
I had a salad.
She has 2 Christmas trees, one in the family room, one in the living
Lasagna
room.
soup that they
Yeah.
make with the salad meats and onions. Oh my God, it's
Just
eat that salad and I had diarrhea.
tons of decorations.
Mhm.
She loves it.
So
I have a split level house.
I know, I'm like, I don't think I'll eat any of that.
Well, I'm not gonna
Right
eat
there,
it now for a
there's
while.
mirror there, right below that.
Unless I get
She
some
has
cabbage,
this
you know, those
2.5
cabbage.
foot tall snowman and a 2.5 foot tall Santa Claus. But you can't turn them on because her grandson.
A watch
is so old.
pot does not boil.
Oh, that would have been me as a kid. That would have been me as a kid. Oh, look at it scary.
I says, yeah, this one it'll scare you to death, the next kid will probably love it.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All about temperament.
Yeah. Well, he's a very gentle child, very,
Yeah.
but he's very conscientious of how many people
Oh,
don't help me, I can do it.
All right. All right.
I know it's really funny
I asked Pam about,
how
oh, she
they
said,
get different
absolutely not.
attitudes,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
develop their own personality.
Yeah, she said.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just trying to get a handle on this planning commission.
Oh, really?
Just,
I
I said,
said,
well,
jump into something
I
else.
I was a little hurt, because if you were, and you had told Joyce and I, we'd have hurt our feelings with him, it's very hurt. You'd probably be the first people I
You
know.
would never know it.
It's funny.
Really? Oh, cool. Good.
I mean, as far as everything, his development, he's a little shorter than the average
What?
child.
I don't know if I like your candidate
He's
pools.
3,
Okay.
and he's a little shorter, but that's all.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like,
Well, I don't think he's gonna run.
tall
No.
anyway, because
Hmm.
That makes me
mom
sad.
is
Somebody
first.
asked me if I was, I said, are you
Dad's
crazy? I'll be almost 90 years old
I
and
would
this,
expect him to be
Yeah.
very tall.
Yeah.
no, no. I'll be,
After we're retired from
well, yeah, 2 months from 90 years old.
1 minute, Jeff.
1 minute, Jeff.
We just didn't want you to be late.
We just censured.
It's so late. Walk. It's a big room. You gotta walk across.
Yeah.
It's a long walk.
You made it.
I think we need to also add Tyann as being absent
Okay. I can.
Was that,
in the consent calendar. It'll be under the consent calendar.
and she's,
Excused.
I was just
Well-
gonna say, but isn't she already excused?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, she may have emailed Dave. Dave's not here.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Okay, it
Yep.
is 7:30. Welcome to the Tuesday, July 28th City Council meeting. Please rise for the flag salute. Elaine.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I call for agenda approval.
I will move to approve the agenda with the addition of new business, and that is the treatment plant grant loan application approval.
A second.
I second.
It has been moved and second to approve the amended agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I call for the approval of the minutes, please.
I'll move to approve the minutes of the
7/14/26.
7/14. meeting. Yep.
I second.
It has been moved and second to approve the minutes of the July 14th, 2026 minutes as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The consent calendar for June 24th, 2026 through July 14th, 2026, consisting of EFTs in the amount of $41,483.95, claims checks 34265 through 34281 in the amount of $50,718.74 for a total of $92,202.69, and the excusal of Tyann Curtis, Councilwoman Curtis.
I'll move to approve the consent calendar and the excusal of
Okay,
Commissioner Curtis.
I second.
it's been approved and it's been,
Moved and seconded?
God, lost my train of thought. It's been approved and seconded to accept the consent calendar for July 28th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We don't have any executive session, no presentations, public comment, public hearing, proclamation. Public comments, if there's anyone who would like to make a public comment, please do so. Take 3 minutes. Doesn't look like there is any. And no old business, new business. Melissa Burgess, Tenino City Planner, asks the council to approve to move forward with the short-term rental code update research per Planning Commission request. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Good evening, council. Okay, so at its July 7th meeting, the Planning Commission reviewed the city's existing regulations and discussed potential policy approaches and expressed support for further development of a short-term rental ordinance. The commission requested that this matter be forwarded to the city council for authorization before staff and the city proceed with the additional research and code development. So a bit of background is that the Tenino's current development regulations do not recognize short-term rental units as conventional lodging. The code does not identify short-term rentals as an allowed use, assign them to particular zoning districts, or establish an approval process or operating standards. The city's lodging regulations generally address residential or sleeping units rented for periods of less than 31 days. However, that definition of conventional lodging expressly excludes short-term rental units. Short-term rental units are also not separately included in the city's zoning use table, pretty much explicitly saying that they're not allowed within the city. We did do some preliminary research in regard to how many short-term rentals are available in the city. There's been some back and forth in regard to whether there's some or none. I will say I reviewed before I submitted this to the city for consideration for tonight, and there were none. I looked on a flexible schedule for a year out. There are some that are surrounding Tenino. There are none within the city that I could find. However, that might be because we don't have any explicit thing that says that they can or cannot be within the city. The way that our code works is that if it's not explicitly allowed, it's prohibited. And so if anybody were to call to ask, that's what we would be advising them, is that it's prohibited. So we also need to know whether or not the city council would want to have a short-term rental ordinance that also allows for that use. RCW 6437.010 defines a short-term rental as a means of lodging use that is not a hotel or motel or bed and breakfast in which a dwelling unit or portion thereof that is offered or provided to a guest by a short-term rental operator for a fee for fewer than 30 consecutive nights. It's very similar to our bed and breakfast definition. However, in the state RCWs, they're not the same. And so either way, we'll need to update some of our language to make sure that we're compliant with the state requirements. Do you have any questions for right now? Okay. I'm not going to go through all of my packet that I provided, as I was pretty comprehensive.
I think we read it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if you have no other questions, or if you would like me to go on, I can. However, if you have no other questions, I'm happy to stop talking.
I think, yeah, our only concern, and this was mentioned at the planning commission meeting, was that this is going to cost some money.
Yeah.
And it's money that we don't have right now. And so, obviously, we wanted to kickstart the conversation with the planning commission, get them to kind of talk about what it is that we're looking at here, and what are some very basic guardrails that we should put in place that would match the character of the city. Do you know of any way that we could bring that cost down to something that might be a little more manageable for the city? Or are there, I hate to use the word grants, but there are occasionally grants that come up for different things, as far as, I think we had some grants for the environmental section of the comprehensive plan. Is there anything that comes up that you have heard of that could help us pay for something like this?
There are some grants that are available for code updates, but none that I have identified for short-term rentals. So most of those have to do with processing times. I can take a look. I know that, or take a look again. I know that Commerce just recently put out a couple of more grant opportunities, but again, my review and recollection, I don't believe that there's any current grants. However, that being said, the city allocates funds for planning staff, and so we do have those funds still in our budget at SEJ, and so that has already been allocated in your budget. And so my thought is we can move forward in more of like a slower process of just having essentially discussions with planning commission, maybe a few discussions with the city council, and then kind of essentially checking and making sure that we don't go over that budget, but utilizing that budget for, or not all of it, but a portion of it for this.
I think I'd need to see how that
Yeah,
kind of breaks down so that we don't spend any additional money.
Yeah, I don't think that we want to approve of them going forward. Just,
Yeah.
we don't want to commit ourselves to that kind of money right now.
I can completely understand. My other recommendation would be that I can build a budget within what you guys have already allocated for planning funds for the year, and let you know how much it approximately would take.
Well, and we need to know how that would affect any other planning that you'd be
I-
doing.
Yes, yeah, I would do that research and then provide that to the council for review. If that is something that you would like in order to consider further. If you don't want to consider it, that is absolutely fine as well.
I think we get more information, yeah, please.
Okay, I can absolutely do that.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, and is there, we're talking about a comprehensive rewrite of our lodging ordinance is what I'm hearing here, correct?
It can be a comprehensive rewrite. It can also be something as simple as essentially just updating the definitions and updating the land use matrix to either allow or not allow. It would take some conversation, but the actual code portion of writing that code can be either very simple or very complex. Tenino tends to like their code to be a lot more simple in regard to making sure that everybody can easily interpret things. And so I would, obviously erring on the side of caution of things happen, we would want to make sure that things, essentially that code is written well, but not over-explanatory. So I don't think it needs to be a comprehensive override.
Because what I'm thinking is maybe we can ease into it, maybe some initial rules to, and I haven't studied it, I don't know if that's possible, but you know, to at least get the idea going or some limited use before we jump in and go whole hog and get it all worked out. And I don't know if we can do something partial for short-term rentals without, you know, doing the whole code thing.
Yeah, in the effort to just be conscious of funds, my recommendation would be for essentially me to go through and look at some other jurisdictions that are similar size to us, what they're doing, and then provide them to the city council for consideration of maybe picking and choosing what you guys like, or if you want to just choose like one. And then obviously that language would be tailored to what the city needs. The other thing that comes to mind is that we do already need to update the land use matrix to be compliant with the state regulations, and that's just part of our normal comprehensive plan process. And so we can also go through and just add one line of short-term rentals and bring it to the city planning commission and the city council in regard to what's allowed and what's not. The apprehension that I have in regard to that is that just because if we update the land use matrix and we don't update the regulations in regard to short-term rentals, it can cause some ambiguity. But outside of that, that might be a good, easy first step of just saying, yes, they're allowed, or not, no, they're not allowed here. As long as we're compliant with the state requirements, nothing in the state RCWs that I've found says that we have to allow them. There are requirements that we have to follow if we do allow them, and there are requirements that the applicants or the owners of the short-term rentals have to comply with if we do allow them. But if we don't, there's nothing that says we have to.
Okay.
My understanding is, it seems to be consensus on the council, we do want short-term rental. We do want people to be able to stay. So it's how do we get to that point?
Yeah, without spending a lot of money. That's
Exactly.
what we
So
wanna do.
one of the points, at some point, I'd like to go into more. You had made a point that the ADU use was pretty much for the workforce, local, you know,
Yeah,
having people, and that raises a bigger question about renting homes. You know, they're like Palm Springs, where people go in and they buy homes, and it's all big money investing, and those houses go off the market for the families.
well, they do it right here in Washington. That's how I travel, is I rent a house.
So discussion beyond the short-term rental is do we want to allow that kind of use of our housing just for investors to make money, as opposed to having families, or having families live in them, you know, and how do you determine whether it's, you know, a single homeowner who's renting their house because they're on deployment or whatever versus, you know, a venture that's buying up houses, just, you know, and that's a whole can of worms. But I think there are issues with how we want our community
Well,
housing to be
and I think
used.
they said that in there. It's to keep developers from coming in and buying up pieces of property just for short-term rentals.
And that's my point.
So
So
that's the biggest thing that we have to watch out for.
exactly. So, but how do we still allow
Right.
the homeowner to
Right.
build that ADU for his own personal use for
Okay.
renting or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a question of mine, a concern of mine, and at some point during this process, I'd like to hear more
Yeah.
information on that.
Yeah, and the ADU discussion kind of goes in tandem with the short-term rental discussion as well. The ADU, the ADU portions of the code need to be updated as well to comply with the comprehensive plan and the state regulations. And so we would likely just do that all at the same time.
Okay, all right, good, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys.
So we are just tabling this discussion.
Yep.
And perhaps we kick it to the budget committee to take a look
Yes.
at it and see if we can kick some money loose, you know. This next council meeting, hopefully, we've got the gambling tax ordinance that I've been working on with Nancy's help. And, you know, originally that was for, maybe this isn't the time, this may be a work session item, but originally it was to help subsidize the state monies for law enforcement when we were trying to keep police officers and the rest of that. I think we still need to go forward because it's revenue for the city, but once that kicks in next year or whenever, that's a little extra money that we haven't had previously we can consider using for something like this.
We have no resolutions, ordinances. Ordinance 944 FY 2026, Budget Amendment Number 1, and Nancy's going to read the first part of the ordinance.
Ordinance number 944, an ordinance for the city of Tenino, Washington, amending the budget for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. Be it ordained and established by the City Council of the City of Tenino, Washington as follows. Whereas the Council for the City of Tenino, Washington has held a public hearing on the fiscal year 2026 budget amendment, and now for the council does hereby ordain that the budget for the City of Tenino for the year 2026 is hereby amended as set forth in Exhibit A, which is attached hereto and made a part of
Okay,
here.
last line.
Passed by the City Council and approved by the mayor at a regularly scheduled public meeting on this 28th day of July, 2026.
Okay. I entertain a motion.
Any questions?
I move we accept this budget amendment.
I'll second.
Is there any, it's been moved and seconded to adopt the budget amendment. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Amendment adopted. Okay. Bye, Melissa, thank you. Okay, we've done the reports.
What about the grant loan?
Oh, yes, okay.
Back to new business.
New business, back to new business. It's not down in front of me. You've already,
Do you want me to,
No.
so we're requesting approval of the application certification for the Tenino Influent Screen Replacement, a grant from the Public Works Board in the amount of $695,000. So this is just an approval to submit an application for that.
I'll move to approve. Sorry.
been
Question.
moved and seconded to approve the application for the, is there any discussion?
I'd just like to say, you know, we discussed this in the work session for those who weren't there. This is a Plan B for the city. We're still trying to get a grant to have the money given to us, gifted us, granted us. And this is a Plan B where we're applying for a loan that would have to be paid back if the first grant doesn't happen, doesn't come through. Because we have to have something in place should that screen fail on us, and it's getting old.
That's correct as far as I understand it, yes.
I was gonna say, you read it as a grant.
Yeah.
That's what it's named, is a grant, but I was told that it's more in the nature of a loan.
Okay.
So I did not fill out the application for this grant. Our park specialist did.
Yeah.
So if we want more details, you can email me and I can get answers for you. But again, this is solely an approval to submit the application.
Yeah. No obligation.
What's that?
We're not obligating ourselves for
Not at this,
600 and,
no, not at this time, no.
right, that's what I understood.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now,
Now.
public comments number 2. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to make public comment, you have 3 minutes. I'm seeing everybody shaking their heads, so. Announcements.
A brief one, if I may. As you remember, Tenino is a creative district under the Washington Arts Commission. And I
The 7th in the state.
the 7th, we were one of the first ones. And with the Pioneer Days, we had a chance to see the artwork and the stonecutters and our history there. Another thing that we have is our own theater company, small city that we are. The Tenino Young at Heart Theater currently has their summer production,
Yeah.
Once Upon a Mattress, which is kind of a take on the Princess and Pea fairy tale. I encourage you to go. It's running tomorrow through Saturday. They'll be ending their run, and delightful time for the young at heart and the young as well.
They
So
have a-
just
They have a
something.
matinee, don't they, on Saturday?
Yes,
Okay.
2 o'clock on Saturday. Otherwise, at 7 p.m. during the week. So I encourage everyone to go support the arts. And that's it for my messages.
Meeting adjourned.
Non-debatable motion.
Attaboy.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what ADU stands for?
Accessory dwelling unit.